सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठगी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो पङ्कजनाभाय नमो पङ्कजमालिने नमो पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रि वासुदेवा परा वेद वासुदेवा परामगा वासुदेव परा योग वासुदेव परा क्रिया वासुदेव परा ज्ञानम वासुदेव परा तप वासुदेव परा धर्मो वासुदेव परा गति। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text number 2. The heading Lord Rishabhadev's Teaching. Text number 2. Mahat sevam dwaram ahurvimuktes tamo dwaram yoshidam sangi sangam Mahantalte samachitta prashanta Vimanyavaha sugrada sadhavo ye Magat sevam dwaram ahurvimuktes tamo dwaram yoshidam sangi sangam Mahantalte samachitta prashanta Vimanyavoho Vimanyaha sugrada sadhavo ye Mahat sevam dwaram ahurvimuktes tam dwaram yoshidam sangi sangam Mahantaste samachitta prashanta Vimanyavaha Suhrada Sadhavo ye. Anyone want to try, please? Hare Krishna. Yeah, please.
Sevam dara mahur vimuktes tamo dwarang joshitam sangi sangam mahantaste samachitta prashanta vimannavaha suridha sadhavo ye.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Please go ahead, Mother.
Mahat Shevam Dwaram Ahur Vimuktesh Tamo Dwaram Yoshitam Shungi Shangam Mohantaste Shamo Chittaha Prashanta Vimonya Vaha Shuridaha Sadhava Ye.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I am also trying Dandavat Pranam.
Please go ahead, Mother.
Mahat sevam daram ahu vimukte stamo daram yoshitang sangi sangam mohantaste samochitta prashanta vimannava suhita sadhavoje.
Hare Krishna. Anyone want to try these synonyms? Synonyms, please.
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji.
Yeah, please go.
Mahat Shevam, service to the spiritual advanced persons called Mahatmas. Dwaram, the way. Ahu, they say. Vimukte, of liberation. Tomo Dwaram, the way to the dungeon of a dark, hellish condition of life. Yoshitam, of a woman. Sangi, of associates. Sangam, association. Mohanta, highly advanced in spiritual understanding. They. Samo Chittaha, persons who see everyone in a spiritual identity. Prashanta, very peaceful, situated in Brahman or Bhagavan. Vimanyavaha, without anger. One must distribute Krishna consciousness to persons who are hostile without becoming angry at them. Shurida, well-wishers of everyone. Sadhava, qualified devotees without abominable behavior. Ye, Dehu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prashak Madhava Prabhu, can you try the translation, please?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. One can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personalities are impersonalists and devotees. Whether one wants to merge into Lord's existence or wants to associate with the personality of Godhead, one should render service to Mahatmas. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. The Mahatmas are equipoised. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. They are very peaceful and are fully engaged in devotional service. They are devoid of anger and they work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Such persons Such people are known as Mahatmas. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to try the purport, please?
Yes, Prabhu, I can try.
Please,
Purport
please.
by Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
The human body is like a junction. One may either take the path of liberation or the path leading to a hellish condition. How one can take these paths is described herein. On the path of liberation, one associates with Mahatmas, and on the path of bondage, one associates with those all teach to sense gratification and women. There are two types of Mahatmas, the impersonalist and the devotee, although their ultimate goal is different. The process of emancipation is almost the same. Both want eternal happiness. One seeks happiness in impersonal Brahman, and the other seeks happiness in the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As described in the first verse, Brahma Sukhyam. Brahman means spiritual or eternal. Both the impersonalist and the devotee seek eternal blissful life. In any case, it is advised that one become perfect in the words of Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya-lila 20.87. Asat Sanga Tyago, Ei Vaishnava Acharo, Sri Sanga Eka Asadhu, Krishna Bhakta Aro. To remain unattached to the modes of material nature, one should avoid association with those who are asat, materialistic. There are two kinds of materialists. One is attached or to women and sense gratification, and the other is simply a non-devotee. On the positive side is association with Mahatmas, and on the negative side is the avoidance of non-devotees and women hunters. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Once again, the verse. Magatsevam dwaram ahurvim vimuktes tamo dwaram yoshidam sangi sangam mahantaste samachitta prashanta vimanyavaha sugrudo sadhavo ye. Hare Krishna. Om ajnana timarandasya jnananjana salakaya chachurutmilitam jena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamakyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandegam Sri Guru Sri Yuda Patagamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sakrajatam Sakagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savaduram Harijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lilitam Sri Visakam Vidanta He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyacha Kripa Sindhubhya Evaja Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo 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 Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshnaya Bhutale Srimade Vedavyasa Priya Swaminiti Namane Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prajarine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachatya Desatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Thank you once again. May I take the blessings of all the Vaishnavas assembled here before proceeding further. So, Canto 5, Chapter 5, text number 2. Here, Lord Rishabhadev's teachings. Here, Lord Rishabhadev teaches about the path of liberation to his sons, mainly by rendering services to the spiritually advanced people. From the purport and the verses, we can understand, we can divide the part into three actually. The first one is the advanced persons. Who are advanced persons? Spiritually advanced person. Rishabhadev says both personalist and impersonalist. And second one, he says, second point in the purport and the verses and the translation, serving the Mahatmas. And the third one is Asat Sanga Tyaga. So we will divide the this verse and purport into three sections. That is, impersonalist and personalist, serving the personalist and impersonalist. And second is serving the Mahatmas. And third one is Asatsanga Tyaga. So let us see one by one in that. Here, Rishabhadev says, the advanced devotees may be personalist and impersonalist. Both personalist and impersonalist aim for liberation, whereas the impersonal liberation is temporary, personal liberation is permanent and eternal. That's what Prabhupada says in the purport. The impersonalists are mainly Mayavadis. They would try to merge into the Brahman effulgence of the Lord. That's what we have seen from the scriptures. But those who adopt the impersonal concept of Brahman realization or God realization, their senses become inactive. They want to make the senses inactive. But in many cases, senses cannot remain inactive. Therefore, the process of self-realization, it is very difficult to achieve the goal provided the senses are well controlled. The provided senses are well controlled. Therefore, let us see what is the fate of this impersonalist first. Let us take the fate of impersonalist first. In the 12th chapter of first verse, Arjuna is asking a question to Lord. Evam sadada yuktayam bhaktantvam pariyapasade yachabhyaksharam abhyaktam tesham kayome vittamaha. O Lord, which are considered to be more perfect, worshipping your impersonal Brahman or your personal form? This is the question which is put forward by Arjuna to Lord in the 12th chapter of Bhakti Yoga. And Lord replies for that. Maya eva mano eva nitya yukta upasade saddaya prayopedas teme yukta tamomada. The Lord says, those whose mind is attached to my personal form is most perfect. Those whose mind is attached to my personal form is more perfect. But those who engage themselves in my impersonal Brahman may also achieve me at the last. May also achieve me at the last. And further, Lord says, Klesho adiktara sesa abhyakta chakta chedasam abhyakta hi gadir dukkam deha ape avakshate. For those who are attached to my impersonal Brahman, the advancement is very difficult. Advancement is very difficult, not easy as the personalist. Because this even more difficult for those who are embodied. He says that the person who are embodied, the process of realization will become very, very difficult. So that's what we have. The Lord has said in 12th chapter. Not only that, in the 12th chapter, there are many other verses we can refer. From the 7th chapter, Lord says, the living entities are my part and parcel. So those who transform their intelligence to my personal form, to the supreme whole, is more perfect. And in the 6th chapter, Lord says that of all the yogis, one who always think of me in his mind and doing this devotional service to me is considered to be more perfect. And in the 8th chapter, Lord says, whoever keeps the body at the end of his life, thinking of me, will attain my nature. So, practically, in all chapters, Lord is insisting to attach to his personal form, not the impersonal Brahman. The personal form is and we realize that the personal form is highest form of realization. Highest form of realization. So now, here in the statement of Lord Rishabhadev, he also recommends the Brahman realization of impersonalist. Why? The idea behind that, those who are Mayavadis or impersonalists, one day or other will become perfect by this process. That's what Rishabhadev wanted to convey that. In the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Katwanga, Maharaj Katwanga says that Edat Brahma Param Sukshma Ashunyam Shunyam Kalpitam Bhagavan Vasudevati Yam Granandi He Satvadaha. It says that the Supreme Person Vasudeva is extremely difficult to understand for unintelligent men who accept him as impersonal and void. So that's a statement in Srimad Bhagavatam on 9th canto. So the impersonalists are considered to be unintelligent. Extremely difficult to understand for unintelligent men who accept him as impersonal and void. But again, coming back to the point of Rishabhadev, why he is insisting that both personalists and impersonalists are the advanced, spiritually advanced people. Let us see the pranati of Srila Prabhupada. What is the pranati of Srila Prabhupada? Can anybody say that? Pranati of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I could not understand what is the pranati
The
meaning.
pranati Om Namo Vishnupadaya. Yeah, that is the pranati.
Pranam mantra.
Pranam mantra. Hare Krishna.
And second line of that.
Paschatya Desha Tarine, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha.
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prajarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatari. Okay, that's the second line of Pranati of Srila Prabhupada. It says that our respectful obeisances to the spiritual master, the servant of Saraswati Goswami, preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya and delivering all the Western people which are filled with impersonalism and voidism. Have we got it? The Western people are all filled with impersonalism and voidism. Many of them don't believe in the personal form of the Lord. They are filled with impersonalism and voidism. And Prabhupada converted all these impersonalists into the perfect devotees, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhupada converted all these Western devotees into, they were following the impersonalism and voidism, but they converted all these people into a perfect devotees. There are many sannyasis, many advanced, spiritually advanced people. Many sannyasis are there. Many Western sannyasis are there. This is the proof. So, Rishabhadev already predicted. Now Prabhupada proved it. How the impersonalists can also become perfect in their devotional service. They become perfect and they become personalists. This is the proof of Prabhupada. And Krishna also says that I cannot be understood by the Vedas or any by other means. I can be only understood by my pure devotional service. I can be understood. So there is no question of any voidism. There is no question of any impersonalism. But Rishabhadev expect these impersonalists also become perfect by their due diligence or by their perfect devotional service one day or other. So that's what Rishabhadev is trying to convince us. And that is the first point of personalist and impersonalist. And second one, Rishabhadev emphasizes service to the Mahatmas, service to Mahatmas or spiritually advanced persons. And now, who is a Mahatma? In the 9th chapter, Lord says, Mahamanas to Mampartha, Devim Prakriti Asritaha. Those who not deluded by the illusion, comes under my protection. And those who are fully surrendered to Supreme Personality Godhead become free from all delusion. That is in the 9th chapter. And there are many examples we can give in the Bhagavad Gita itself. What are the characteristics of a Mahatma? What is the characteristic of a Mahajan? We have heard about the 12 Mahajans from Srimad Bhagavatam. Swayambhu Narada Sambhu, Kumaro Kapilo Manuhu, Prahlada, Bhishma Janaka, Balir, Vayasakhyam, Yama. These are the 12 Mahajans. Okay. We are not talking about that, those 12 Mahajans. But we are talking about the spiritually advanced person. They are also Mahajans. And what are the characteristics of these Mahatmas? How we can identify the Mahatmas? In the 13th chapter, in the 16th chapter, verse 1, 2, 3, talking about the divine qualities that is applicable for the Mahatmas. Divine qualities. Abhayam Sattva Samatsuddham Jnana Yoga Bhavastidaham Dhanam Samas Sayatnyasya Swadayas Tava Arjavam. Fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, self-control, performance of sacrifices, and also study of Vedas and austerity and simplicity. This is the first point. And secondly, it says that Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas Tyaga Shantir Apayashunam Dheya Sarvabhudeshu Achap Aloluktam Mardom Harir Achapalam. That is non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion of the fault finding, covetousness, gentleness, and modesty. Tejo Chama Siddhyat Saucham Adrohanaiti Manita Pavanti Sampadam Devam Abhijadasya Bharata. Steady mind, determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, and avoiding cleanliness, freedom from enemy. These are all the characteristics of Mahajan. Also in this 13th chapter, it says, 1 to 8 to 12. Amanityam madam vittam ahimsam shanti marjavam achorya asanam saucham thairyam atmani vigraha indriyarteshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma dukkha jara vyadi dukkha dosha anudarshanam asakti adibhava sangha putradara grahedishu nityam samachittatvam ishtanishta papadishu maidanyanya yogena bhaktir avyabhajarani vikta desha sevittam adi jnana samsati Advatma Jnana Nityatvam Tattva Jnanatta Darshanam Evam Jnanam Idam Proktam Tado Ajnanam Anyata. So this is talking about the knowledge. So this 24 26 characters, blessed is 20 characters, all included in the characteristics of Mahajan. We are seen from this chapter 16 and 13. All these are applicable to the Mahajans. So serving the Mahajan, all the factors applicable to Mahatmas. In fact, those souls who have fully surrendered to Supreme Personality Godhead acquires all these characteristics automatically. All these characters are automatically they will achieve. And in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord says to Sudama, Naham Vijaya Prajayadi Bhyam Tapaso Upasamena Va Tushayam Sarva Bhutatma Guru Susrushaya Yada. Guru Susrushaya. I am not satisfied by ritual worship, Brahminical initiation, penances, or self-discipline. And I am satisfied by faithfully rendering services to the spiritual master. The spiritual master is also included as a Mahajan. He is also a Mahajan. He is having all these characteristics, what has been mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. All mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So a saintly person, however, is like a pure water, free from all contamination and capable of purifying all other things. Just as the pure water is transparent, a saintly person is also transparent, manifest Supreme Personality Godhead in his heart. Association with the devotees of the Lord is far more valuable than any amount of association with persons who are self-controlled and sinless or expert in the Vedas. Muktanam abhisiddhanam Narayana Parayanaha Sudurlabaha Prasantatma Kotiso Abhimaha Mahamani. Among many millions who are liberated, one may be a devotee of Lord Narayana. Such devotees are fully peaceful and are extremely rare. Such people are extremely rare. Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavam Prapatindi Vasudeva Sarvamidi Swamahatma Sadurlabha. That is also applicable for the Mahatmas. So Rishabhadeva talks about the serving the Mahatma. Now we know who are all the Mahatmas. To serve them, to serve the Mahatmas. In the translation also say that he has given all the characters. They do not see any difference between the living entity and others. They are very peaceful and fully engaged in devotional service. They are devoid of anger and they work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Such people are known as Mahatmas. He has given some indication, but this is the elaborate, what is his character, what is his intelligence, and this has been explained in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16 and 13. And also in various instances in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, who is a Mahatma, who is considered to be a Mahatma. So, the first one we have seen about personalist and impersonalist. And what is the fate of the personalist and impersonalist to become perfect? And second one is serving the Mahatma. And who are all the Mahatmas? Who are all Mahatmas? And what is their characteristics? And third one is Rishabhadeva is talking about in the purport and verse is talking about Asat Sangat Tyaga. Asat Sangat Tyaga. So Asat Sangat Tyaga, Vaishnava Acharya. A Vaishnava should always avoid the association of ordinary people, those who are materially attached, especially to women. Vaishnavas should also avoid the company of those who are not non-devotees of Krishna. That's more important. Vaishnava should avoid the company of those who are not devotees of Krishna by wasting time with their association. By association with the worldly people, one becomes devoid of truthfulness, cleanliness, gravity, mercy, and spiritual intelligence. They lose spiritual intelligence, austerity, and control of mind, etc., etc. So Rupa Goswami says that Atyahara Prayasacha Prajalpuniya Magraha Sangatyaga Sadovati Chadveda Bhakti Vinashat. Associating with the worldly minded people, Bhakti Vinashati. So we'll become doomed by associating with the worldly minded people. Another verse it says by the Rupa Goswami, Utsaga Dhairya Nicha Tatat Karma Prabha Sangatyaga Sadovati. Chadveda Bhakti Prasiddhati. Sangatyaga Sadovati. Avoiding the association of non-devotee. Avoiding the association of non-devotee. That is more important. So here he says about the avoiding the association of non-devotees, asat sangat tyaga. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it said, Dharmasya tattvam nihidam guhayam mahajano yena gadasa pantaha. The solid truth of religion, religious principles are hidden in the heart of all unadulterated and self-realized persons. And one should accept the path of these people. The solid truth of religion, religious principle, and wisdom are hidden in the heart of all the unadulterated and self-realized people. Mahajano yena gata sapaddaha. So we should follow the Mahajan and serve them. That's what Rishabhadev insisting. So Asat Sanga Tyaga and Sarvadi Mahatma simultaneously happens. Once you start serving the Mahatma, your association with Asat people will diminish. The association with the Asat people, Asat Sangatyaga will be diminishing. That's what it says, human. So, therefore, it's also given in the purport, the human body is a junction. One may either take a path of liberation or path leading to the hellish condition. This is available to you. Either you, because human body is a junction. If you want to decide, you can go up, or you want to decide, you can go down, or you can remain as same. That's up to you. Because this facility is not available for any other species of life. This facility is available to go up in the ladder of devotion is available only for the human being. That's why it is called human body is a junction. That's why the human body is called a junction. We have given the opportunity to revive our relationship with the God. We have given the opportunity to revive our relationship with the God, which is rarely available to any other species. So one is who is a impersonalist, unpersonalist, and second one serving the Mahatma, and third is Asat Sangatyaga. This is the contents of this purport, translation, and the verse. So Prabhupada always says that make this form of human life be the last, and go back to Godhead in the very life itself. The solution to the problem. So therefore, the solution to the problem of repeated birth and death is always with us. The whole of human life, the whole of our human life is a preparation, and the death is an examination. Therefore, we must write our examination properly to pass out of this material. So life is a learning process and death is an examination. So we must try to write our examination properly so that we'll go out of this material world, passing out of material world. That's what Prabhupada said us from this verse. Therefore, I will stop here. If anybody has any questions or any comments on this, welcome. Please. Thank you very much once again.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
You mentioned at one point that the pure devotees are transparent.
Yes.
Are you able to elaborate on this, please? Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Pardon?
Are you able to elaborate on this point that the pure devotees are transparent?
Yeah, pure devotees is transparent. One is because by their character, by their action, because they are purity in mind, purity in words, purity in mind, word, and
Body.
voice.
Action.
Words. Okay. So these three are common for all the Mahajans. Purity in mind. What are the purity in mind? Cleanliness and self-respect. So these are mentioned in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Stairyam Atmani Vigraha. Okay. That is self-control, steadiness and self-control. And purity in speech. Speak always truth. Speak always which is beneficial and not agitating. This is the purity of speech. And purity of the body, cleanliness, simplicity, and simplicity, cleanliness. There are so these characters are applicable to the Mahajan. You can understand from their behavior, understand from their activity, understand from their speech. You can understand from their association. You can understand them. Who is a Mahatma? Why they are very pure in there. When they are pure in there, they are transparent. They are purity. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, there is a question on the chat. Shall I read it out?
Okay. Oh yeah, should.
It is telling, it is from Urmila Mataji. Lord is
Okay.
beyond Vedic knowledge. Could you please elaborate on this, please?
In Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that because Vedic knowledge gives all the Traigunya Vishaya Vedam, Yistariguna Visharjuna, Nirdando Nitya Saktipto, Nirdevam Shebam Atmava. You must go beyond the Sattva Guna. You must go beyond the Sattva Guna. The Vedic literature will guide you up to the stage of Sattva Guna. You must go beyond that because sometimes, because of the material nature, the Vedic instruction sometimes may manifest, may not manifest. But the purity of the soul is always there. The purity of the soul and connection with the super soul is more important than the Vedas. Vedas will give you as a guide to elevate up to this certain stage. And there are also in Vedas, there are fruitive activities for the people who are in the Tamoguna or Rajoguna. But people want to go beyond for the devotees, those who want to go beyond this one, the Vedic Lord says that Traiguna Vishaya Veda. Because you must go beyond the Vedic knowledge. Beyond Vedic knowledge, we should have the asakti. We should have the attachment. Attachment to what? Attachment not to material thing. Attachment to spiritual thing. So attachment to the holy name of the Lord, to the form of the Lord, to the activities of the Lord, to the paraphernalia of the Lord. This, you should have that attachment. But that is not specifically mentioned in the Vedas. Vedas never spell out about all these things. So that's why we should go beyond the Traiguna Vishaya Veda. The Vedas talks about only three gunas. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamo guna. We must go beyond this Sattva guna. But anyhow, the Vedic literature will give you the pave way for all these people, those who are in the Tamo guna or in the Rajo guna and the Sattva guna, to go beyond that. To go beyond that, to get self-realization, to get attachment to the original form of the Lord, or paraphernalia of the Lord, or a characteristic of the Lord, or pastimes of the Lord, or on to the holy name of the Lord. Okay?
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Beautiful.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat, thank you very much for nicely
Thank you.
explaining the inner end points of this verse very nicely, particularly pointing out what is the difference between personalist and impersonalist, and why the personalist knowledge is, first of all, as mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita verse 12.5, where it is told that impersonal form, for the impersonalist to know the Lord is difficult, because
Yes.
for Dehavad Bhiravapya, that is the word used there. That means one who is embodied, for him thinking of a non-form or formless situation is difficult. And moreover, that knowledge is also incomplete, as Prabhupada has explained in umpty number of times, because for them, their knowledge is incomplete. And only the devotees knows the Lord, and Lord is also mentioned in various places, including, I think, Bhagavad Gita 1855, Bhakta Mahama Vijanati.
Yes.
So only the Lord knows this. And similarly in Brahma Samhita, first in the 5th chapter, verse 33, where it says, Vedeshu durlabham odurlabham atma bhakto. Only for the devotees, it is very easy to get with them. And also, you very nicely explained that we have to follow the Mahatmas, because only by following the Mahatmas with their mercy, we can reach our ultimate goal. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's words, it is told that the devotee should avoid the company of Asat Sangha, and the Asat Sangha includes the impersonalist as well in some form, because he has told, if a person is attached to impersonal form of the Lord, he will be deprived from the Lord's mercy, because he will not be able to serve the Lord, and he will fail to. Throughout his life, he will remain eluded. Just like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is told, just like to taste a honey kept in a bottle, from the outside, no one can taste it. If it is inside and there is a glass, you cannot taste it. You can see it, everything you can see. You can also consider everything, but you cannot taste it. In a similar way, we have to serve the Lord to understand the form of the Lord. And that is through the mercy of the devotees we can achieve it. And thank you very much, Prabhuji, for nicely explaining all these points. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Anyone
Krishna.
else?
Thank you very much for the very nice class.
Thank you, Prabhu.
In this verse, Prabhupada is saying that the impersonalists can also be considered Mahatmas, and I was a bit surprised.
Correct, because they are also in the process of devotion. Actually, they are in the process of devotion. As Rishabhadev says, we cannot totally neglect impersonalists. So that we cannot neglect. They one day or other they become perfect. So they are aiming for perfection. So others are perfect. They want to worship the personal form of Lord. Others are impersonal. By gradually realizing the Brahman, you see, Brahmedi, Paramatmedi, Bhagavan, it is Abdaya. So they will gradually realize Brahmedi, Paramatmedi, then they will come to the stage of the uh, super soul later on. So that's what Rishabhadev is trying to emphasize. But we cannot totally reject the impersonalists. But to see that they will also become one day or other become perfect in worshipping the Supreme Personality Godhead in person.
Yeah, bro. So they are in the process of becoming.
Yeah, that's a process actually. We were also we don't know. We were also once become impersonalists and come to this stage of Krishna consciousness. Maybe yes. So many people, Brahmedi, all the Westerners, they don't worship the deity form. They don't have no belief in this one. They are void. There are many Chinese. There are many Chinese. They avoid only voidism. No? They don't buy the Buddha is a voidism. So they all become devotees in Krishna consciousness. How by Brahmedi, Paramatmedi, Bhagavan is Abdaya. They are come to that stage by gradually progressing in the spiritual path.
Yeah, their process is long process.
Yeah.
It's like work in progress.
Yes, definitely.
Many
Yeah. Their endeavor, they are endeavoring to become. We cannot reject that. That's what Rishabhadeva says. But it's Prabhupada has proved it. Prabhupada has proved it. By his message, he has proved it. The spiritual master Saraswati Devi preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya and delivering all the people of Western people who are filled with impersonalism and voidism. Prabhupada has proved it, no? What more we want? Prabhupada is an example to converting all the impersonalism and voidism to the perfect devotees. We don't require any other example. This is what we are happening the Kali Yuga. What Rishabhadeva predicted in Satya Yuga, and that is really happening in Kali Yuga by the activities of Prabhupada, by the preaching of the Prabhupada. All the impersonalists have become perfect devotees.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yes, there is a mention also in Bhagavad Gita. I think the verse is 7:19.
Okay.
Bonam Janomonte Ganavan Mantavade. Ganavan means here, Ganavan here means impersonalist here, who are one merge with it.
Yes. Vasudeva Sarvamili, so Mahatma Sadurlabha.
Sadurlabha. That means after a long time, they come, they will come, and the Lord has also predicted that.
Yes. But it will take time. Klesho adiktara chesa, avyakta chatta chesa, avyakta hi gadir dukam deha abhyapapchade. No? One day they will become. Definitely they will become. Their aim is also for liberation. The impersonalists, they are also aiming for liberation. But they are doing it in a wrong way. That's it. But one day or other, they will come back to the exact position of realization. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it appears there is no other person to make comments, so the
Thank you
class
very
is
much.
concluded. Vancha kalpataru
namo namah.
Anantakoti
Vaishnav ki jai. His Grace Vaikuntheswar Prabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.